Labor frontbencher Chris Bowen has all the answers in his new book called On Charlatan. Well, I think he's just echoing my next guest, Joel Fitzgibbon. He said it all and said it over and over again. The member for Hunter joins me now, along with former Queensland Premier Campbell Newman. Gentlemen, great to have you on the show. He is listening hard and fast to you, Joel Fitzgibbon. Maybe there might be some change yet coming Labor's way.
G'day, team. Look, we're putting Labor back into the Labor Party, and it's great to have Chris on the team. He's an important voice, an important player in the Parliamentary Labor Party, and I welcome the fact that he's acknowledging that we made some really big mistakes at the last election, and indeed we've made some mistakes for about the last 10 years, and the first step to winning an election is recognising that and then re-engaging with our traditional base, re-engaging with the people we were born to represent. That means getting out into the regions and into the suburbs, into the manufacturing plants, into the coal mines, into the gas projects, into the abattoirs, and telling people that we're here to back them. We have their backs, and hopefully, therefore, we'll have their support.
I tell you what, Joel, if you've read half the books behind you, there's Light on the Hill there, there's Mr Howard's book and others. I reckon you're absolutely on the money to getting back into government with that sort of reading list. But Campbell Newman, I've got to ask you, Anthony Albanese's been up your way, travelling all over the place. A lot to talk about extending JobKeeper. Hasn't been to a coal mine yet. He got a bit... Well, he had a bit of a difficult time with Neil Breen, and I'm on Neil Breen once a week. He was on Neil Breen, 4BC. New Ackland mine came up. Let's have a listen.
People say, ask Anthony Albanese if he supports the opening of Ackland coal mine like his members, Senator Chisholm, Shane Newman, some other people as well, and other people just saying, Ackland coal mine, 13 years, what would you do?
Yeah, what we need is certainty. Certainty for the workers there, certainty for the business, certainty for the farmers.
How do they get the certainty, though? People are asking for political leaders like you to give them the certainty.
Well, it's not a federal decision.
Now, is he going to be able to avoid the Bill Shorten trap of, you know, one line in Queensland and one line in sort of, you know, North Fitzroy or wherever else it might be in Melbourne? How do you think Albanese is going down in Queensland?
Look, he's astride the barbed wire fence with that one, and really I'm sure Joel Fitzgibbon would tell him that if he's going to appear in Gladstone or Rockhampton or Emerald or Mackay, he's really going to have to sharpen up and back the coal industry. But going back to what Joel was just talking to you about before, Peter, I think of it like this, I call it the donut theory. You know, there's a hole in the donut. The hole in the donut is the inner 4, 5, 6, 7 kilometres of our major capitals, Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane. If you listen to the people who live there, the swanky top end of town, the intelligentsia, the tops in the media, the politicians, etc., and of course Albo's electorate, you'll get the wrong policies for the suburbs. You've got to go further out. You've got to go to Stafford in Brisbane or out into the west in Sydney, etc., and meet those real people, those middle-class people, those blue-collar workers, and that's where you get the great policy ideas. And stop, and this applies to coalition, stop listening to the inner city people because they are the ones that are out of touch. So if Albo wants to sharpen his game, maybe he can win back seats in Queensland, but he won't do it with that sort of answer.
Yeah, and look, you're absolutely right to send that message to the Liberal Party because the Liberal Party's got the same affliction of those inner city sort of myopic binoculars. Can't have a myopic binocular, but blinkers, myopic blinkers.